Hello, football fans, and welcome back to Madden 24. In this episode, we will be playing the Super Bowl, which is going to be the Carolina Panthers, or in my case, the Orlando Panthers, versus the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I did want to cover what is actually going on in the NFL this year, and so here we have the updated bracket, which shows that the Super Bowl will be the 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And I want to give my thoughts on that. Personally, I feel like this really is sort of suggestive that the NFL has become nothing more than a new version of professional wrestling, and it sort of makes me sad. And with that, what I'm saying is particularly the Kansas City Chiefs. If you've paid attention to football over the years, there have been multiple cases in the past where a particular player would say that they were going to retire, and suddenly their team would win the Super Bowl at the last minute. Some of these teams were not nearly the top ranked team that year. There was no reason that they would make it to the Super Bowl, and yet somehow they fought the odds and won the Super Bowl. Teams like this include, for me, Peyton Manning and the Broncos. We also have the Baltimore Ravens when Ray Lewis decided to retire. And now we have the story of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. And with that, if you look at earlier in the season, the Chiefs were not the top team in the AFC by any stretch of the imagination. I would say of the teams that were in the playoffs, they were probably about the third worst in my mind. I think that the Bills should have easily been able to beat them. I definitely feel the Ravens should have been able to beat them. I even feel that the Dolphins would not have been surprising in beating them. So the fact that they have made it through all those obstacles to make it to the Super Bowl, to me, just feels fairly fake. The fact also with the 49ers, nothing against the 49ers. I personally did think they were the best team in the NFC, and I do think they are rightfully in the Super Bowl. But especially the way that game played out against the Lions felt scripted to me. For one, you did see that the Lions, with their huge lead and stuff, were the favorites of the fans. The fans really wanted the Lions to win the Super Bowl. And I sort of feel like if I was writing a story, which I do enjoy creative writing, I wouldn't have wanted to put the Chiefs versus the Lions if I was planning on having the Chiefs win, because then the hero would have lost in the last and everyone would have been upset. Instead, it was better for the Lions to sort of face heartbreak against the 49ers to somewhat get people to be against the 49ers, and in that way make it where people will be less upset when the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. If it's a script, that's the script I would have gone with. Now, that being said, here's my prediction of actually what's going to happen with the Super Bowl. I have a feeling that the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. I then have a feeling that Travis Kelce will propose to Taylor Swift on the field after the game. So I just wanted to put that out there now. If it happens, then, I've already had it recorded that this is the case. I will say this. I am absolutely 100% hoping I am wrong. I would love for the 49ers to win, for it to not even be a good contest, and nothing to happen between Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. That would be my ultimate hope for the game. And the reason for that is I'm a football fan, and I want to still believe that football is about sport, and it's actually about the athletes. On the other hand, if it happens where the KC does win, considering the statistics have shown all season that that should not be the case for them to be the Super Bowl champions, and then we do see the proposal there between Kelce and Swift, then to me, I would almost say that maybe they've got somebody from the WWE as the new CEO of the NFL, because it is very scripted then and feels very fake. And it makes me sad because then in reality, me playing Madden is more competitive and more real to sport than the actual event itself. Because the event then is just a faked thing with an already figured out ending. Now, I mean, I don't have a problem with it with pro wrestling. I enjoy pro wrestling. but pro wrestling actually acknowledges the fact that what they do is fake. Right now, football is still supposed to be an actual sport where competitors actually are doing their best. But certain points, for example, the Baltimore Ravens, who had a very good running game all season long, and yet in the AFC Championship, I believe they ran the ball like 6 times or so. That just doesn't make any sense. Now, if it was a blowout and they had to be throwing the ball to try to come back, I could understand that. But this was a close game. They could have run their offense the way they had all season long. Yet suddenly their coach has this wonderful idea that we're going to suddenly just change the way we play and ignore being a run-based team. That doesn't strike me as accurate at all. And as I said, really for me, it's not, they have gotten away from the refs very obviously cheating for a team in order to help them win. And it seems like it's subtler things. But if you're really paying attention to it, especially if you're a fan of things like pro wrestling, so you know how that quote unquote sport is faked, you can see where this could be fake here in the NFL. As I said, I am hoping that I am wrong. I hope that the 49ers win. I will without a question be cheering for the 49ers in the Super Bowl here, because I do hope that the sport is still what it should be. That being said, though, I really fear that what we are going to see is not a sport anymore, and what we are going to see is much more just theater and a new quote-unquote professional sport. Now, with that sort of glum point of view out of the way, let's focus on the good. The game between the Eagles and the Panthers there in the NFC Championship was actually a real struggle. I was concerned. And I will tell you, I have no intention of replaying a game. If I had lost the NFC Championship, I probably would have gone ahead and shown you who won the game at the end of the season. But it would have been the way it is. I'm not going to cheat the system in order for my team to win. I have actually gone through the season and been undefeated the entire time, and I'm happy about that. It's been a struggle in some of the games, and the NFC Championship was the hardest one so far. Jalen Hurts in there played phenomenally, and I really struggled to be able to stop him. And I will say that I am very nervous for this Super Bowl because Lamar Jackson, I really feel, is a quality quarterback. And if I struggle as much against the sort of run pass option that he has as I did against Jalen Hurts, this could be a real bad game for my Panthers. But I am going to do my best. We will see how it goes. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into the game.
Madden football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Panthers and the Ravens. All that and more coming up next.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the NFC champions. Alongside my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Well, CD, the Ravens have perennially been in the conversation. This year, they knock down that door, they win the AFC, and here they are in the Super Bowl.
And remember, they've won in recent years. Super Bowl 35 in Tampa, Super Bowl 47 in New Orleans. What a stretch they could put together if they could claim another title here.
Meanwhile, for the Panthers, it's their third ever Super Bowl appearance in franchise history and looking for that first ever Lombardi Trophy.
They played the Broncos tight in their last appearance, ultimately lost 24-10 in Santa Clara in Super Bowl 50. And prior to that, fell to the Patriots and Tom Brady in Houston. Super Bowl 38, a field goal late in the game got them. They want to set the pace in this one and get their first NFL championship.
And we will not have a return, so the first drive of this Super Bowl will begin at the 25. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And he spoke very eloquently and passionately on Media Day about what a victory here would mean for him. He knows this just isn't any other game. This is the kind of game that stays with you for a lifetime. If there's anyone on this field tonight who's most ready for this moment, I think it's this man right here.
They go play action now. Jackson. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, after the standard 2-week layoff, you always wonder how's your offense going to respond and come out and play here in the Super Bowl. Well, they got a great answer right there and almost a sigh of relief on that side of the field because now they've got to feel like they can use their entire playbook and game plan for this one.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Jackson. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Panthers will take over possession here up at the 44. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. Bringing them out is the #1 overall pick this year, Heisman Trophy winner at Alabama, Bryce Young.
And as we know and as we've discussed here in the run-up to this game, this is history in the making. The first rookie quarterback to ever start in a Super Bowl. An absolutely tremendous accomplishment, something no one else has done. But he doesn't want to just go down as the first to make a Super Bowl. He's told us all week he's here to win it.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
You'd think defenses might be a little more prepared for plays like this because so many offensive coordinators, when they get the ball after a turnover, they do like to dial up a deep ball right away. And if I were a defensive coordinator in this league, that's exactly what I would say to my defense before they went out to play. In this case, though, they didn't get the message, and a big play resulted.
They go play action. Young. That's swung out wide to Sanders. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And you know, I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, touchdown Panthers! Hayden Hurst, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Panthers are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And the Ravens taking the field. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Well, maybe that'll help him settle back into a groove after the interception on the first drive here, picking up the first to start drive number 2.
And it is just starting over, isn't it? Sometimes it's just how you have to do it. You have to erase things from your mind. Don't worry about what happened before, because over the course of a game, the good players, things turn out pretty well for them, and that's what he's trying to do here.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Jackson from the shotgun. Throw caught by Flowers. His first ever catch in a Super Bowl, a nice moment, and also a 1st down. Jackson, options out left. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. That one into the hands of Flowers. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Throwing is Jackson. To the right side, into the hands of Flowers. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His second catch in a row, first down. On the run, this is J.K. Dobbins. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 10 more there and another first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Dobbins not going anywhere. He'll lose a couple back to the 6. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. 7-0 is our score. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we are back and ready to go for the second quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. 3rd and goal, a big play in this Super Bowl. Jackson. And he's got it. And he's able to break out a run tackle, but then quickly brought down. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They throw for it on 4th and goal at the 1, and the Panthers defense able to deliver the goal line stand. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
Second down, back to Sanders. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. First down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
That one good for 10 yards, and that'll make it second and a foot or so. Another run here with Sanders, and they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. They'll try to throw now. Young. And Sanders has got it complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up second down. Off the play fake, Young. He's got Mingo. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 43. A very solid gain of 27.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. It's Young off play action.
And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But get away it does, and it's second down.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens' 34.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile.
And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
There you go, partner. That's some old school football right there. You need 1 yard? Give it to your bruiser fullback and let him get the job done.
2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Young off the play fake. It's caught by Sanders. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a first down here.
But it certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half,
touchdown! Adam Thielen from 21 yards away.
And the Panthers continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
And now here come the Ravens.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. To throw is Jackson. He's got it complete to Aguilar. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, And what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Now it's Jackson. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with great field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
The Panthers going to go back on offense here late in this 1st half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. Throw left side, pulled in by Mingo. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. The play fake. Now Young. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this 1st half.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
On play action, Young. His throw caught right around the 6. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Looking to throw, Young. Touchdown, Panthers. Ian Thomas as the 1st half is winding down. And the Panthers are feeling good as they extend their lead in the Super Bowl. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this 1st half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Holding offense.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. Thus far, this Super Bowl has looked less like a contest and more like a coronation. And to call the second half, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Both teams making their final adjustments of the season during this long halftime break. Who will claim the Lombardi Trophy? To find out, we go back to Brandon and Charles in Vegas for the second half of Super Bowl 58.
This taken in right around the goal line. So the Panthers going to take over here to start quarter number 3. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead.
Here's a diving catch right side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
When the spotlight is at its brightest, and let's face it, it's the Super Bowl, those types of plays come out, don't they?
Absolutely. A big-time catch on the biggest of stages.
Do you think that that one's going to live on? We're going to see this for a long time.
Definitely going to live on forever with him, that's for sure.
No doubt.
Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. Second down, back to Sanders. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens 28. 44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. 19 yards that time for number 19.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now is where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Jonathan Mingo from 3 yards out. And the Panthers are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl. Well, to put it mildly, he's been able to dice up this secondary all game long, and this time that was a missile that he threw into the end zone and adding another touchdown to his ledger.
And I think we see these youngsters develop a lot quicker than we ever have, because when they get started in this game, they're not just throwing passes around, they're reading coverages early. So now they're like seasoned pros earlier in their career. How about this one here? If they win this ball game, a game ball definitely coming from his head coach.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, That's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the side.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown. Jonathan Mingo, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Panthers are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Ravens ready to take over. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Jackson now. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
The Ravens send their punter out now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. Orlando takes back over on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium in Super Bowl 58. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action. 2nd and 10. They'll go again with Sanders. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10. Now Jackson back into his end zone. Quickly into the hands of Beckham. Hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Jackson. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Here's Jackson to throw. That is caught. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw again is Jackson. Completes it to Aguilar. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now it's Jackson. That's into the hands of Flowers over the middle. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Jackson options out left. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. On second down, a run with Dobbins. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 3rd and 5. Throwing is Jackson. And it's caught. And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. Here's Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
3rd and goal, Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens go 98 yards and finish it off in the end zone. Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off. And this is going to be a Panthers 1st down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Come on, stay.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So celebration down on the field for a good, hard-fought victory here. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Error-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them this one is now planted.